You're listening to the News Guru podcast.
Ray Radio.
News on a conservative biblical perspective. Listen Monday through Friday as we take on the establishment.
You are the resistance.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of the News Guru. I'm James Ledbetter, your host. So, the question for the day. What happens when liberal snowflakes can't accept losing the election? They appoint a senseless, corrupt Democrat like Representative Maxine Waters to attack the winner. Auntie Maxine became the darling of the far left when she began making unfounded accusations that Russia conspired with the Trump campaign to tamper with the election. Waters refused to attend President Trump's inauguration. Crybaby. She has said, I don't honor this president. I don't respect this president. She said she'll fight every day until he is impeached. Impeached for what? That's my question. As a matter of fact, I have a clip that I would like for y'all to listen to of Maxine Waters bashing Trump in front of a voter and then telling the voter, when the voter was talking about impeaching her, that you can't impeach a congressperson. Listen to this clip.
Have a good day.
Hi, I'm fine. I've been calling your office and leaving emails, and
you're one.
Maybe you could talk. Give me 5 minutes of your time. I know today is not the time.
You're one of 700,000.
I understand that. I understand that. Yes.
And so, when I'm in Washington most of the time, you know that. I fly in on Monday, and I fly back on Thursday or Friday, but that's every week. So I have one day sometimes, and we try to figure out how to see everybody that we can. So tell me what you want to talk about.
Well, I just want to talk about your representation in Washington regarding our president as well.
I can't stand him.
I understand.
He's the most horrible man I've ever seen in my life.
I love my president very much.
I'm glad you do.
I respect your position, my position as well.
I'm glad you do.
But I also want to know why you weren't representing me in Washington by opposing the president.
Your president is a dishonorable, lying man. He mocked a journalist. I've never seen a grown man do that. He talked about grabbing women by the private parts. He lies every day. He's in bed with Putin and the Russians about oil. And everybody around him are allies with the Kremlin and with the oligarchs of Russia. They're going to take us down.
You mentioned comments about him being a liar.
He is a liar.
And grabbing a woman's pussy,
That's
which
right.
I don't think he ever did.
He said it.
I go back to...
What grown man talks like that?
I go back to President Clinton.
I don't care about Clinton.
Well, of course
I
you
care
don't.
about this.
Of course
Listen,
you don't.
I'm going to work every day until I get him impeached.
I'm going to work every day to make sure that he isn't and that you're impeached.
But that's okay.
Thank you so much,
Excuse
Ms.
me.
Waters.
You
Thank you so
can't
much.
impeach a
Thank
member
you
of
so much.
Congress.
Thank
No,
you so much.
you cannot
for
impeach a
not
woman of
representing
Congress.
me in office. Thank you so
That's
much.
okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
And there you have it. So the question today is, what gives Representative Maxine Waters the right to decide what people should think? See, that's what the left is doing. That's what Nancy Pelosi is doing. Nancy Pelosi speaks gibberish every time she speaks. Every time she speaks, she either calls Trump President Bush, or she just blithers on incoherently where nobody can understand what she's trying to say. And by the way, I have that clip too. Listen to that clip.
I notice you don't say President Trump.
It's hard.
Is that a thing? I mean, do you avoid that? I mean,
I've never heard him say it either.
You what? Say that again?
I've never heard him say it either.
But is it hard? It is hard to say it.
Well, see, when I was listening to my dear friend Richard say things about the most powerful woman in the Senate, well, I'm the highest-ranking woman politically in our country, to be Speaker of the House, President, Vice President, Speaker of the House. It's the third highest position, and leader is a very significant position. And so one of the things that I was looking forward to Election Day is when finally there would be a woman who would be the highest ranking woman practically in the world as President of the United States.
You have Nancy Pelosi and you have Maxine Waters constantly bringing division between the two parties in the country. The two parties in the country can't get together and agree on common ground because of people like the Maxine Waters and the Nancy Pelosi's of the world. Politics has become a freak show. A freak show ran by carnival masterminds that want to decide what you think and tell you how you should think. The only problem with that is that's not democracy. The United States is ran on a democracy. But here lately, democracy has been a thing of the past. Because you have the fake news, MSM, like CNN and MSNBC, you have them trying to tell you how you should think. As a matter of fact, several of them has made that statement that that's their job to control what you think. You don't, according to them, you don't have a mind of your own. According to them, you have no right to think anything except what they want you to think. And that's what their downfall looks like. This is what their downfall looks like. When the President of the United States gets up and willingly calls them fake news. As a matter of fact, he's done it with CNN several times. And people are listening to this. People are listening to this and taking it to heart, as they should. Because CNN's anchors want to control you and how you feel about certain things and what you think about certain things. People like me on the air trying to get you to understand that whether you're a Republican or whether you're a Democrat, you have a right to think what you want to think. You have a right to say what's on your mind. And see, that's where the Republicans and the Democrats differ. We believe that everybody should have a voice. And we're not trying to shut down the Democrats' voice. So we let people like Maxine Waters make fools out of herself. We allow Nancy Pelosi to get up and to make fools of herself. And the only thing we do is we come back and we let you know how stupid they sound. Now, you have a right to choose how you feel about that and what you think about that. Because I'm giving my opinion, my educated opinion, based on what I see. And I have a right to do so. So, Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, I have a question for you both. Who do you think you are? You're telling your voters that they have no right to impeach you. They have no right to eliminate you. And what you're doing is these people are writing this stuff down. They're taking notes. We'll have more on this after the break.
You are a spiritual being. Every thought, word, deed emits a certain frequency. Did you know that your body is being bombarded by harmful radiation emitted from your cell phones, emitted from your laptops? What if you could see the harmful radiation? Would you react? Visit us today for more information at endemf.com. I repeat, endemf.com.
You're listening to the News Guru.
Radio.
Listen Monday through Friday as we take on the establishment.
You are the resistance.
Hey, welcome back. We're talking about Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters and all of the silliness that spews out of their mouth every time they get in public and speak. As a matter of fact, a couple months ago, you had Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters on the same stage, speaking nonsense. Nancy Pelosi couldn't stop calling President Trump President Bush. Who is the president, Nancy Pelosi? And as you saw in the clip in the first segment, she has a hard time calling Trump President Trump. Why? What is this? Second grade? It's hard. It's hard to call him President Trump. Well, how do you think we felt when your president and Obama was running the show? Pretty much run the country into the ground. Pretty much ran the country completely aground. How? Well, let's see. Well, he cut the budget on the military. He started pushing for this transgender agenda in the military. So now you have a bunch of men running around wanting to wear high heels and skirts. And you have liberals out there now that are criticizing the U.S. Marines now. Criticizing them and criticizing their masculinity, saying that the Marines are too masculine. Excuse me. Do you want men, gung-ho men, running, protecting you? Or do you want a bunch of pansy snowflakes crying because they tripped over something and they have to take a time out during some war where they're trying to defend you? Which one would you rather have? Would you rather have a crybaby snowflake defending you overseas, keeping the jihadis over there? Would you rather have a snowflake, or would you rather have a gung-ho Marine? See, I'm abroad. I'm in India. I was in Kuwait with my wife for about 6 months, give or take. And I call them my Marines. Our Marines are over there protecting Kuwait from the jihadis on all sides of the border. Now you see these Marines walking around like Marines should be walking around, with their chest poked out, because this is the thing. They are protecting certain interests in the world. And my wife was involved, well, not involved, but she was in Kuwait, when Iraq infiltrated Kuwait. And she said she woke up one morning to go to school and there were dead bodies all over, dead Kuwaitis everywhere. The Iraqis, ran by Saddam Hussein, murdered innocent people that had nothing to do with anything. They just came in and started murdering. And see, that's why George Bush Sr. sent the troops here, or there. So, you have people criticizing that even. The Marines put Saddam Hussein and the rogue Iraqis in check, put them in place. And see, that's what you need the Marines to be doing. But you have Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters trying to divide the country, trying to merge sexualities, and it's getting ridiculous. And see, that's my point. So, the whole thing is you have these two trying to divide the country. Trying to divide the country because their agendas aren't being met. So you have places. I wrote a piece on a university torn apart. The black students demanding that all the white students and white professors leave campus immediately. See, the thing is people don't seem to understand that these students paid to get an education, okay? They do not have to leave campus just because of the color of their skin. So you're actually coming into the university, and this is all brought on by Maxine Waters and Nancy Pelosi. And you have George Soros in the mix. George Soros paying all of these protesters to come in and to protest and destroy cities of America. And from what I hear, the protesters aren't getting paid. So they're getting angry. They're getting angry because the money's not coming in. So you have less protests going on these days because let's face it, George Soros is actually burning bridges. And pretty soon he would have burned all the bridges, and then he has nobody to pay to protest. We'll talk more after the break. Hello, this is James Ledbetter from the News Guru Talk Show. If you need a video editor, contact the Pink Project at ledbetterfreelance.com/Pink Project. They do all my video edits, and they do a really great job. Your imagination is their template. If you're interested in getting that wedding video done, contact the Pink Project today at www.ledbetterfreelance.com/Pink Project. Contact them today.
If you can hear this, you are not alone. This is the resistance.
Hey, we're back. So, according to this WND article, saying it's time to show Auntie Maxine the door, states that she, talking about Maxine Waters, she has become the leading voice of the left's resistance against Trump's efforts to reform the government and drain the swamp. Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters are a part of this swamp. They're a part of this swamp, and the swamp creatures don't want to give in. They don't want to die. They want to keep polluting the country every chance they get. They want to keep bringing in all of this hatred and confusion, and they want to keep on because their agendas are dying. Voters are starting to see them for what they are. And I'm glad for that. The fact that Waters refused to attend President Trump's inauguration should show you what kind of childish, pompous person that Maxine Waters is. And she can't get off the fact of there was no collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. She's stuck on it. She can't get it out of her mind. And that's the same thing that she's doing. She keeps bringing up this nonsense. And you have the liberal snowflakes coming and wanting to keep this agenda rolling. And there's nothing to it. It's lies. It's lies. None of this can be proven. And you even had the FBI, you even had the CIA, you even had all the intelligence agencies of the United States saying the same thing, that they have no evidence that this ever took place. There's no evidence. You can't invent evidence as much as Maxine Waters and Nancy Pelosi would like. You can't invent evidence and convict and impeach a president. You just can't do that. So one day, hopefully, Auntie Maxine will wake up from whatever slumberland that she's in and realize that she's been living a lie. Nancy Pelosi can't even have an intelligent speech. She can't even speak audibly. She keeps calling President Trump President Bush. And these are the people that the left has called to be their spokespeople. That should tell you everything. That should tell you everything you need to know about what's going on. In this show, we talk about politics and world events on a conservative biblical perspective. And that's my right. And that's my listeners' and subscribers' right to believe and to understand things the way we do. And it's the same right for the left to think whatever they want to think and to speak however they want to speak. That's called freedom of speech, Maxine Waters. That's called freedom of speech, Nancy Pelosi. How dare you two come in publicly and speak against anybody that is speaking what they believe? See, us Republicans believe in the freedom of speech. We believe in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. We believe in all the amendments, and we believe they should be strictly enforced. So when you're waiting to hear a conservative speak at a college and riots start breaking out, you can thank Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters for causing the uprising that they have. You can thank them for convincing the leftist snowflakes that they have a right to destroy property and to cause physical bodily harm on people. You know, that's the problem. That's the problem that we're having. They think that they have a right to physically assault any Trump supporters. Well, we're running out of time for the day. I hope you've enjoyed today's show. As you go on with your work day, as you go on with your school day, I want you to keep these things in mind. I want you to understand that you have the freedom to speak. You have the freedom to believe whatever you choose to believe. And you should not let anybody, whether you be Democrat or whether you be Republican, you shouldn't let anybody tell you any different. You shouldn't let anybody try to shut you down without a fight. Don't just give in. Don't let them have your freedom of speech. Here, you can have it. No, they can't have your freedom of speech. This is America. Until tomorrow, I hope you all have a really great day, and we'll pick up on great subjects tomorrow. You have a great day.
Hello. If you would like to contact us at our email address, radio@ledbetterfreelance.com. I repeat, that's radio@ledbetterfreelance.com. If you'd like to advertise with us, please send us an email at radio@ledbetterfreelance.com.
This is James Ledbetter, signing off for
The News Guru.